Welcome back to Scholastic Haiku, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host, Ethan Neer, and we have another great episode in store for you with two more great teams. So let's go ahead and introduce those teams. On the bottom, we have Cisne with Michael, Alex, Joshua, and Tisha. And as our top team, we have Effingham with Evan, Addie, Kevin, and Jonah. But before we get into the game, let's get into our rules. I'll start off our game with some toss-up questions. Each toss-up question will be worth 10 points. If they answer right, they'll get the chance to go to a bonus question, which will be worth 20 points. If any team interrupts me before I finish a question and they get the answer wrong, the other team will be awarded 5 points. So as we got that out of the way, if both of our teams are ready, let's get right into the questions. And then we're starting off with a pencil and paper ready question. If each base angle of an isosceles triangle measures 57 degrees, what is the measure of the vertex angle? Kevin.
66 degrees.
66 degrees is correct. Well done. And Effingham, you'll take us to our first bonus question. In 1782, what Asian country's currently reigning Shakri dynasty was founded by Rama I after a coup deposed Taksin the Great?
Indonesia.
Indonesia is incorrect. Cisne, you do have a chance to seal here.
China.
China is also incorrect. The answer you're looking for was Thailand. Thailand. All right, for our next toss-up, what country in which the Perfume River flows through the former capital of Hue contains the delta of the Mekong River south of Jonah?
Vietnam.
Vietnam is correct. For your bonus, what poem whose speaker describes eating like, quote, men like air claims that that dying is an art and is by Sylvia Plath?
Daddy.
That is incorrect.
Art is dying.
Art is dying is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Lady Lazarus. Lady Lazarus. For our next top-up, what comic strip featured a psychiatric booth run by a girl as well as an imaginary World War I fights between Tisha?
Peanuts.
Peanuts is correct. Getting Cisne on the board there. And for your bonus, what effect which vanishes at the equator arises from a 2 times angular velocity crossed with velocity term in rotating reference frames?
Coriolis effect.
Coriolis effect is correct. Cisne getting that bonus question. Well done. For our next toss-up, what mathematical surface for which 7 colors is always sufficient to color a map is topologically equivalent to a mug and shaped like a donut? Tisha.
The color wheel.
The color wheel is incorrect. Effingham, you have a chance to answer here. Kevin.
Mobius strip.
Mobius is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was torus. Torus ring. All right. For our next toss-up, in June 2022, what one-time public defender who clerked for Stephen Breyer was sworn in as Breyer's replacement as a justice on the Supreme Court? So you guys are out of time. The answer we were looking for was the most recent Supreme Court edition, Ketanji Brown Jackson. All right, for our next toss-up, what numerical name is given to the 1972 law that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in educational institutions, including college sports? And the answer we're looking for on that one was Title IX. Title IX. And now we're on to our first media question. This movie, made in 2000, starring Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix, is about a powerful general that is chosen to become the heir to the emperor. When the emperor's son finds out, he murders his father, and the general is sold into slavery. They must train to become a fighter. Kevin.
Gladiator.
Gladiator is correct. And on the media questions, you guys do not receive a bonus. So we'll just take it to our next toss-up. What play, whose characters include Donabane and Malcolm has a title that is considered a bad luck in theaters where it is called, quote, the Scottish play? Tisha.
Macbeth.
Macbeth is correct. For your bonus, what Chief Justice who served over 25 years starting in 1836 wrote that African Americans could never be citizens in his decision, Dred v. Scott? I'm sorry, Cisne, you are out of time. Effingham, you do have the chance to steal here.
Justice Smith.
Justice Smith is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Roger Taney. Roger Taney. For our next toss-up, what letter, which names a Marvel Comics character called the Unknown, is the final letter of the Greek alphabet and is paired in a phrase with alpha? Joshua.
Omega.
Omega is correct. Well done. And you'll take us to our next bonus. What 17th century Englishman regretted that he lacked, quote, world enough and time to pursue a lengthy courtship with his Carpe Diem poem to his coy mistress? I'm sorry, Cisne, you're out of time. Effingham, you have a chance to steal here.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Andrew Marvell. Andrew Marvell. For our next toss-up, what general who led the fake first U.S. Army group after slapping 2 shell-shocked soldiers during World War II? Jonah.
George Patton.
George Patton is correct. All done. For your bonus, what word refers to the bottom part of a fraction? For example, the number 9 in a fraction 7/9.
Denominator.
Denominator is correct, and you secure that bonus. For your next toss-up, what city, the home of the Youngers in Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun, is called Hog Butcher for the World in a namesake Carl Sandburg poem? Tisha.
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge is incorrect. Kevin.
Chicago.
Chicago is correct. Sweet home Chicago. For your bonus, what amendment superseded the Supreme Court's ruling in Chisholm v. Georgia and forbade citizens of one U.S. state from suing another state?
I don't know. We're learning in government.
I'm sorry, Effingham, you are all out of time. Cisne, you do have a chance to steal, though. 11th is correct. Very well done, Cisne, securing that steal. For our next toss-up, what scientist proposed the idea of hybrid orbitals rated fluorine a 4.0 on his namesake electronegativity scale and advocated for vitamin C? Kevin.
Bohr.
Bohr is incorrect. And I'm sorry, you guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for was Linus Pauling. Linus Pauling. And for our next toss-up, what knight who helps Sir Agravain expose Guinevere's affair with Lancelot fights a mutually fatal duel at Camelot with his uncle King Arthur? Jonah.
Sir Richard.
Sir Richard is incorrect. Tisha.
Sir Galahad.
So Galahad is also incorrect. The answer is Mordred. Mordred. And now for our next media question. This 21-year-old daughter of a famous actor has made a name. Tisha.
Willow Smith.
Willow Smith is correct. Very well done. Back to the toss-ups. What president derided the, quote, do-nothing Congress for opposing his fair deal and surprisingly won the election of 1948 by defeating Thomas Dewey? The winner of the 1948 election. The answer we're looking for there was Harry S. Truman. Harry Truman. For the next toss-up, which city is the primary setting of the operas Don Giovanni, Carmen, and The Marriage of Figaro, as well as another opera with Figaro as a barber? Kevin.
Prague?
Prague is incorrect. Tisha.
Venice.
Venice is also incorrect. Barber was the important word there. We were looking for Barber of Seville. Barber of Seville. For the next toss-up, what material often coated with kaolinite to make it more opaque and made by pressing cellulose fibers from wood into thin sheets is used in books? I'm going to be honest, this question seems way more complicated than it actually is. Michael.
Paper.
Paper is correct. It's such a long-worded question for such an easy answer. That's how they're trying to cook you up. All right, for your bonus, Cisne, Bodrum Castle is built from the remains of what ancient structure, a tomb for a ruler of Caria, that was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world? Sorry, Cisne, you are out of time. Effingham, a chance to steal here and get some more points on it.
The Hanging Gardens.
The Hanging Gardens is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Back to the toss-ups. After what country's 2021 elections did a coalition of the FDP, Greens, and Social Democrats allow Olaf Scholz to replace Angela Merkel as chancellor? Kevin.
Germany?
Germany is correct. For your guys' bonus, what character becomes stuck in the front door to Rabbit's house after eating too much milk and honey in a book by A.A. Milne?
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh is correct. Well done there, Effingham. For your next question, what poet who wrote about objects that keep, quote, time in a sort of runic rhyme in The Bells depicted a bird that repeats nevermore in The Raven? Kevin.
Edgar Allan Poe?
Edgar Allan Poe is correct. For your guys' bonus, a religious organization known as the Vishva Hindu Parishad, or VHP, supports what Indian political party of Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Indian Nationalist Party?
Indian Nationalist Party is incorrect. Cisne, the chance to steal here. Get closer to tying this game up.
No answer.
No answer. The answer we're looking for was Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP. And with that, we will take it to our lightning round. Now, the way our lightning round. Now, the way our lightning round works is each team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can as about a particular topic. Cisne, since you guys are trailing here, you will have the opportunity to pick first out of our lightning round options. And your options will be American novels and wars, holy places, state flags, or old things. Very descriptive on that last one, old things.
State flags.
State flags is your choice. All right. State flags, name the state whose flag includes these things. I will get you 60 seconds on the clock, and I will count you down 3, 2, 1. A white crescent and a palmetto tree.
Florida.
Florida's incorrect. The words Mount Rushmore State.
South Dakota.
South Dakota is correct. A green background and an image of its presidential namesake.
Washington.
Washington is correct. A white star between the letters N and C.
North Carolina.
North Carolina is correct. A white shield with 3 grapevines and the Latin motto, Qui Transuit Sistinet.
Pass.
17 stars and a white O that resembles a buckeye nut.
Ohio.
That's correct. A white magnolia blossom, which was adopted in 2021.
Pass.
Gold stars in the shape of the Big Dipper.
Alaska.
Alaska's correct. A beaver on the reverse side.
Pass.
Green sagebrush and the words Battleborn.
Pass.
A white shield with 3 grapevines and the Latin motto, Qui Transuit Sustinet. Sorry, you guys are out of time for that answer. It was Connecticut. A white magnolia blossom, which was adopted in 2021, was Mississippi after they had to change their flag because it had the Confederate flag on it. And a beaver on the reverse side was Oregon, and green sagebrush and the words Battleborn was Nevada. Now, Effingham, you guys get to the chance to pick here. I'll reread them for you. Holy places, American novels, and old things.
Old things.
Old things it is. All right. Let's just get reorganized a little bit here. So, old things. Name these things that include the word old. 60 seconds on the clock for you. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1. Geyser in Yellowstone National Park.
Old Faithful.
That's correct. Title dog of a Fred Gibson children's book.
Skip.
University in Richmond whose sports teams are the Monarchs.
Skip.
Nickname for the American flag.
Old Glory.
That's correct. Nursery rhyme character with a pipe, bowl, and 3 fiddlers.
Skip.
A debut single of Lil Nas X.
Old Town Road.
Old Town Road is correct. Charles Dickens novel featuring Little Nell.
Skip.
Nickname for the Central Criminal Court of England and Wales.
Skip.
Home of the Manchester United football team.
Skip.
Stephen Foster song that is Florida's official state song.
Skip.
The title of a Fred Gibson children's book.
Old Yeller.
That's correct. You are out of time. The remaining ones were University in Richmond whose sports teams are the Monarchs was Old Dominion University. Nursery rhyme character with a pipe, bowl, and 3 fiddlers was Old King Cole. Charles Dickens novel featuring Little Nell was Old Curiosity Shop. Nickname for the Central Criminal Court of England and Wales was Old Bailey. Home stadium of the Manchester United football team was Old Trafford. And Stephen Foster's song that is Florida's official state song was Old Folks at Home. All right, now that our lightning round is over, let's take a look at our points before we head back to the toss-ups. And it's Effingham holding on to a slight lead here, 150 to 130. So still plenty of time and game left for Cisne to catch up here or for Effingham to extend that lead. Now let's take it back to the toss-ups. What author wrote a book whose chapters are named after the Muses detailing the Persian Wars leading to his nickname, quote, the father of history? Jonah.
Homer.
Homer is incorrect. Cisne, you have the chance to answer here. Alex.
Jackson.
Jackson is incorrect. The answer we were looking for was Herodotus. All right, for our next toss-up, what element whose atoms have 2 neutrons in its isotope called tritium forms at the cathode? Jonah.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen is correct. For your guys' bonus, what short-lived socialist government ruled a European capital for 2 months in 1871 before being suppressed in, quote, the Bloody Week?
The Commune of Paris.
Paris Commune is correct. Very well done. Back to the toss-ups. What composer of the middle period Les Adieux, Appassionata, and the Waldstein sonatas wrote a piece marked Quasi una Fantasia in his Moonlight Sonata? Kevin.
Mozart.
Mozart is incorrect. Cisne. Tisha.
Beethoven.
Beethoven is correct. You're of Moonlight Sonata. For your bonus, Mount Whitney and the giant forest, which contains the enormous General Sherman tree, are in what national park in California?
Redwood.
Redwood is incorrect.
Sacramento National Park.
Sacramento National Park is also incorrect. The answer we were looking for was Sequoia National Park. Sequoia. We'll take it back to our toss-ups. What author described a vacationing banker's affair in his story, The Lady with the Dog, and portrayed Russia's theater scene in his play, The Seagull? Jonah.
Tolstoy.
Tolstoy is incorrect. There's Cisne, who are unfortunately out of time to answer there. The answer we're looking for was Anton Chekhov. Anton Chekhov. And now for our next toss-up, What military contingent, which was defeated at the Battle of Gravelines, was sent by Philip II in a failed Spanish attempt to invade England in 1588? Jonah.
The Spanish Armada.
Spanish Armada is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Earl Scruggs developed a namesake style of using finger and thumb picks to play what instrument, which usually has between 4 and 6 strings?
Guitar.
Guitar is incorrect. Cisne, you have a chance to see.
Banjo.
Banjo is correct. Both of you know on that one, Michael and Tisha. Well done on there, getting the steal. For the next toss-up, what peninsula, which is east of Buzzards Bay and north of Martha's Vineyard, is in southeastern Massachusetts and takes its name from White Kevin?
Chesapeake?
Chesapeake is incorrect, and I did not finish the question. And it takes its name from a white fish. Joshua.
Cod.
Cape Cod is correct. I believe there's also some chips called Cape Cod. Very tasty. For your bonus, what first vice president under Richard Nixon resigned in 1973 amid charges that he took bribes during his time as governor of Maryland?
Ford.
Ford is incorrect. Effingham, you do have the chance to steal here.
Johnson.
Johnson is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Spiro Agnew. Also a very popular character on Futurama for some reason. He's in that show. All right, now for our next media question. In 2009, Fifth Cell developers released this action puzzle series of games. The player can summon a variety of tools and items using the notebook to solve an array of tasks. Name this video game franchise. Jonah.
The Puzzle Solvers.
Puzzle Solvers is incorrect. Tisha.
Doodlebot.
Doodlebop is also incorrect. I'm now realizing my age that this game might be kind of before your guys' time. The answer is Scribblenauts. Fantastic game on the DS and Wii. Alex, I feel like you're motioning me like you might have known that one.
I actually had a copy of it.
You had a copy? Nice. It was a fun game.
Yeah, it was.
All right, for our next toss-up, what romantic poet who wrote "Hail to Thee, Blithe Spirit" in "To a Skylark" described a traveler from an antique land in his poem Ozymandias? Kevin.
Shelley?
Shelley is correct. Well done. And for your bonus, what playwright was inspired by two minor characters from Hamlet to write Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead?
Williams?
Williams is incorrect. Cisne, you do have a chance to steal here.
No answer.
The answer we're looking for was Thomas Stoppard. Thomas Stoppard. And for our next toss-up, what organization, which is led by Angela McArdle, nominated Joe Jorgensen for president in 2020 and is a third party that promotes limited Jonah?
The Libertarian Party.
Libertarian Party is correct. And for your bonus, the weak interaction is mediated by the W and Z types of what particles which have an integer spin?
Leptons.
Leptons is incorrect. Cisne with the chance to steal here.
No answer.
The answer we were looking for was bosons, or W or Z. And that is, I believe, unfortunately, all the time we have here today. And it looks like Effingham able to hold on to that lead that they gathered there in the lightning round. Effingham holding it 210 to Cisne's 165. So, for all of our lovely contestants here today, for all of the people working behind the scenes and watching, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much, and good night.